Hello, community. My name is Dr. Shemya Vaughn. I am the creator of A Cup of Therapy. So, on this channel, I will focus on helping women of color and individuals who are part of the queer community who live with anxiety and depression and who are recovering from trauma. So, again, on this channel and in my coaching practice and in my private practice, my private therapy practice, I help people improve their mental health, accomplish their personal goals, and heal in community, right? Teaching them how to build a support system so they're not doing this recovery journey alone. This YouTube channel does not constitute a therapy client relationship or even a coaching relationship. I am a licensed therapist in California and Missouri. So women who live in one of these states, they can meet with me for a free consultation to decide if we are a good fit for traditional therapy. But this YouTube channel, it's not going to be about traditional therapy, right? What I want to do with this channel is check in with you once a week to see how you're doing. I am assuming if you are watching this channel, you are always the one checking on others. But who checks in on you? What does checking in look like? So, one of the questions I'll be asking every week is, what is your priority this week? I will not focus on short term and long term goals, but I will ask, what is your priority in this current week? Right? So everything cannot be our priority. And we tend to do better when we accomplish tasks one at a time. So I'll start. My priority for this week is to learn to improve my French by taking French lessons again. So that will be my priority for this week. Another question I will start asking you every week, right? And during the check in is, who or what drained your energy this week, right? So these will be posted maybe on the first, like the Sunday of the start of the week. And so maybe it is about the previous week, right? We do not have to spend a lot of time venting about stressors in our lives, but we can discuss who or what has drained our energy. If you are a Harry Potter fan, think of the Dementors, right? Who or what is sucking all the life out of you this week? I'll give you an example. So, Excel spreadsheets are my energy drain, but I do not know how else to reconcile my checkbooks for my personal life and for my business. I still do it all by hand, right? So, this was a what that drained my energy. A third question, another question I'll be asking you is, who or what has made you feel complete or whole this week, right? So, opposite of that last question about energy drains, I also want to know who or what has made you feel complete or whole, right? You may have had a social encounter with a friend or a family member or even a stranger that filled your emotional cup, or something happened and you feel whole. So, an example for me is I am in Paris again, where I plan to live eventually someday. And I'm just making the plan to live here permanently. It makes me feel hopeful and whole again. So that's my example, right? Another question is, who or what have you avoided this week? So now we get into your business in this next part. Are you avoiding a person or putting off a task until an undetermined time? Right? There's no judgment, I promise. But part of checking in is asking why you are avoiding that person, why you are avoiding that task, right? And adjusting your expectations or revising your goals. I do want to be clear. Avoidance and procrastination, it tells us where we want our energy to go and where we no longer want to send energy. So I always support having the right to change your mind about people, places, and things. You may have a great idea and then decide, I don't want to do that anymore. That's okay. I will also ask, what boundary have you established that you want to enforce this week? We set boundaries all the time with different people and with ourselves. But then when we are sleep deprived, feeling emotionally weak, feeling too busy, we let people violate these boundaries because we lack the emotional capacity to address it. So, can we agree this is doing a disservice to ourselves? I set boundaries with other people and I set boundaries with myself. I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes during the pandemic. So I have a lot of boundaries about food and about stress for myself. If you struggle establishing boundaries and enforcing boundaries, I can help you with that. You don't have to do it all on your own. So here's a tip for those of you who are tired of repeating yourself. They heard you the first time, friend. They are just putting their own needs before yours and acting forgetful. Stop repeating yourself. Of course, my alarm goes off. Another question I want to ask every week, I will be asking, who gave you emotional or financial support this week? I love this question. This this question makes me think of building community. They say that it takes a village to raise children, but don't adults deserve a village too? Okay. So, of course, we do. So, this check in question is about acknowledging your care team, expressing gratitude, and appreciation for them that and what they do for you, right? So, for example, I have extreme anxiety, and my daughter actually helps me with my business as a reasonable accommodation, right? She is fairly compensated, of course, because I do not believe in exploiting other people. But I do appreciate her assistance. It really helps me keep everything that I'm doing organized. I also will be asking, who have you supported emotionally or financially this week? Right? So the last question was about who supports you, who pours into you. And this next question is about who you are pouring into. I love this question as much as the previous question because it shows you whose cups you are pouring into. The people on this list, right, are people we love unconditionally, people we would do anything for, people we take care of regardless of their connection, if they're a family, if they're a friend, if they're a lover. So the people on this list are the people who we have reciprocal relationships with, or people who give us purpose. My answer to this question will always have very specific people in my personal life, but the therapy clients that I work with have are also on this list. And eventually, once my coaching business gets started, the coaching folks will be on here as well. The last question I will ask you every week is, what new habit do you need to start practicing, or what old habit are you ready to retire? This question requires you to think about all of those life hacks you hear about on TikTok, and all of the different medical advice you've received and all of the financial advice you are aware of. This question is also about an old habit that you know that's no longer serving you. It is not doing what it used to do for you. It may be even harming you right now, right? So I'll go first. One new habit I need to start practicing, or I want to start practicing, is drinking half of my weight in water, not coffee or tea, right? Each day. So that was some advice I received from a weight loss clinic that I was participating in a few years ago. They said, oh, you need to drink half of your weight in water in ounces. Whew. So that's a new habit I would like to get to. But one old habit I want to retire is covering my mouth or shushing myself when I laugh too loud. Fuck that, right? Joy is fun to feel. See, that felt good, right? Someone asking you very specific questions every week to see how you are doing, helping you remember to center you and how you operate your day. This was a lot of talking. So I want you to take a nap and I will see you next time.